This is a great matchup for Washington. Texas's biggest weak spot is their pass defense. Um, we've seen it all year. I've seen it. Heck, even the game I did against Texas, Kansas State came in as one of the best rushing teams in the country, like fifth in the country running the football. Texas took that away with Tavondre Sweat. You guys saw how good they were on the defensive line, and Kansas State was able to throw the ball to get back into the game. We saw that with TCU. So now they're going to face the best passing attack in the country. Kalen DeBoer does an amazing job. Michael Penix is as good of a leverage passer as I've seen in a long time. You guys love golf. You hear about like managing your misses in golf, like miss on the correct side of the hole. Well, Penix does that throwing the football. He's always missing on the correct side, taking his player away from defenders. If it's incomplete, it's not incomplete towards the leverage of the defender. He's really good at that. Great passer of the football. And Texas is 95th in the country stopping the pass. I know Washington doesn't have a great defense. I think it could probably be a shootout. There's a lot of skill on the field with both of these teams. But man, I don't love the matchup for Texas. And I get it. Like, who am I versus Vegas to say who should be favored? I'd favor Washington in this game because of the specific strength that they're going to use and the specific weakness that Texas has shown during the course of the season.
I'm a simple-minded caveman. Doesn't it come down to just can Washington protect Penix, that great defensive line
100%.
of Texas? Yeah.
100%. And you know what? I don't know if there's a better pass protection team in the country.
Really?
Than Washington. Yeah.
See, that surprises me. Yes.
When you really look at a lot of factors there, I don't think you can just bring up numbers. It's not just about pressures or sacks or anything. And I know, but dig a little bit deeper, right? There are teams that don't give up sacks just out of volume, right? Because they're not going to throw it as much as Washington. And then there are teams that even if they're throwing with quite a bit of volume, they do such a good job of maintaining their ability to throw on schedule with play action, roll out screens, short passing on the outside. When you're talking about a team that's just going to drop back and throw the football, and that's their bread and butter, to have the minimal number of pressures and sacks that they've given up is pretty remarkable. It's not a big, heavy play action game. They're back there taking shots, throwing from the pocket. And because of that, it's kind of like the old adage, like in boxing, like pound for pound, he's the best fighter. Well, pound for pound, Washington's the best pass protection team in the country. And yet Texas, this is their strength, is up front. They have to win up front. If they don't get pressure on Penix, Washington wins. If they do, Texas wins. I'm with you 1,000%. That's where the game is won and lost.
And Jay Price asked you, Klatt, in the chat room, the obvious question: who has Washington faced that would approach Texas' defensive front? Is there one?
I think people discount Oregon's defensive front. I mean, they're really good. I saw them up close and personal against Utah, but the answer is they haven't. That's why it's the playoff. So right, like, so yeah, that's the point. That's why it's a question. If I could point at a team that they've played that's definitely better than Texas and they've been able to protect Penix, I would just pick Washington outright right now. But you can't. And so it's a question. Are they going to be able to deal with it? Michigan hasn't seen a quarterback like Milroe. I don't think Alabama, maybe with the argument of Texas, but Texas is not as complete as Michigan. Alabama has not seen as complete a team as Michigan. Now, could you argue that Texas and Georgia are just as good or better in areas? Yes. Which if I'm betting, it's really hard to bet against Alabama with their history, their coach, the fact that they've played, the teams and teams that are similar to what you're going to see in this playoff. But man, this is going to be phenomenal. I think people discount a little bit of how good Ohio State was, even on the defensive front. These teams are all tested. Washington beat Oregon twice, guys. I mean, Texas went into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama, won the Big 12. Michigan beat Penn State on the road and Ohio State, and Bama beat Georgia. These teams are steeled and ready, and this is as good of a playoff as we've ever had.